Good to see you again. It's been a while since we've talked.
Yeah, it's been good. Things have been good. How have you been?
Yeah, same here. No real complaints. And it's funny, like I remember literally back to our first conversation when we talked about you obviously being a business owner and being a young entrepreneur and wanting to get into real estate as well with like your first house hack. And it feels like so long ago that we did that conversation. But do you remember back then like what was going through your mind or what was going through your head in our initial conversations?
I was nervous but excited, just as anything is with starting something new. But it's not a feeling that I wasn't used to, with starting businesses or, doing other things and starting other projects. This is just another one of those endeavors. But yeah, just excited for the challenge for sure.
I like that. Nervous and optimistic. I mean, that's the perfect
Yeah.
mindset to go into it with. So that's cool. And before we go any further, I do just want to give you a second to introduce yourself. So for those who don't know you, who is Joe? Tell us your story, your background, what your goal was.
Yeah, so I'm 23 years old. I just got married, so I live together with my wife, and I'm still a student. We're both students, and so we're living kind of that college life. We're almost done. We have a couple years left. But I'm also a small business owner. Nothing big. We just sell things here and there online. And in other news too, we just found out that we were pregnant. So
Congratulations.
thank you, thank you. So that's coming up soon. Yeah, and now I guess you could consider me a novice real estate investor. Just we have a new rental property under our belt, thanks to your help, and so yeah.
Honestly, I'm impressed every time I hear your story. Like being 22, 23, still in university, a business owner, now investing in real estate, and being married. Now you just added on top of that you're going to be a father too. Like honestly, you make me smile so much in this conversation. So congratulations on all of that. Honestly, it's amazing.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's a lot for sure, but that's how we do life. Go,
Yeah,
go, go.
I like that. Time management, organization are going to become even more important.
Yeah.
So, Joe, before we started working together, what was one of your biggest hesitations in working with me or moving forward or doing anything together?
I think for me, the biggest thing was trying to know whether or not the cost of the coaching would be worth it. And it's, not exactly easy forking over a large sum of money for anything. Especially like, someone you've never met, someone you don't really know. Yeah, and for me, I tend to hold on to my wallet pretty tightly, and I'm pretty deliberate with my spending. And so that was one thing for me personally that was like kind of keeping me from like just going instantly.
That 100% makes sense. I mean, I'm really curious what made you finally get over that hurdle and be like, okay, yep, I think it's going to be worth it. I'm going to take the shot. What was it? What was the one trigger moment?
Well, there are a couple of things for sure. I mean, I liked your personality, and you seemed like you knew, exactly what you were doing, and so there was immediately that like sense of trust and credibility. But I think the biggest thing was the guarantee that you included in the agreement, which was that I don't remember exactly how it was worded, but it was something along the lines of essentially no risk to me. That if things didn't pan out the way that I wanted it to, then you would compensate me for my time and for like the risk that I took on. And so that was for me, that was huge, just having it in a written agreement. And yeah, it was just nothing that I had to worry about. If things didn't work out, then no big deal, and if things work out, then big deal.
Yeah, I'm happy that you see that because honestly, I added it because I have the same personality. Whenever I take on new mentors or pretty much do anything, I don't like spending. But when somebody tells me, oh, if you don't gain 15,000 followers, I'll give you your money back. Or if you don't make X amount per month in your real estate deal, I'll give you your money back. Okay, well then if you're going to promise me that, then you must have done it before and delivered. So that's kind
Yeah.
of why I added it too. So I'm glad that you picked up on that. And then having that mindset and going into it with kind of hesitation based on the money perspective, but then being willing to jump in from your perspective in the first month of working together, what was your experience like?
It was really great. Yeah, it was worth every penny, in my opinion. What I personally loved about it was, one second, I'm gonna close this window right here.
Sure.
They're doing some lawn care. They just conveniently started as
No
I
worries.
do this interview. But yeah, going back to my answer, it was very smooth, very systematic, very organized. Everything that I like to see in a mentorship program. And you were very quick to answer any questions I had, almost like by the minute. Within that minute, you would answer my question, which was awesome. So yeah, it was really easy to follow everything that was going.
It's funny. I remember you specifically telling me that like the Notion page that I have, like the 100-day roadmap, because you use Notion for your businesses, and you're like, as soon as I saw you have Notion, I was sold on it. So I'm guessing you like the 100-day roadmap, or at least the step by step, right?
Yes, yeah, I'm a very type A person. Like I like to see what's going on, and I see the timeline and the progress of things visually. I like that sort of thing. So that was right up my alley.
Yeah, I appreciate that. If you had to pinpoint like one thing to your success of working together, or like your favorite thing that we did that drove the most success, what would you say it was?
It kind of goes back to the answer I just gave, which was that everything was so just simple and clear to understand. It was almost hard to not know what to do next. Yeah, it was just very, very easy to understand. And whenever I had a question that wasn't answered by the system, you answered it very quickly. So
Thank you. I take pride in my response rate, so I appreciate you mentioning that. And then I
yeah.
guess fast forwarding, right? Doing property tours, going through some of the inspections, making your offer, creating your first lease, like when all of that was finally done and you're like, yep, I have my investment property. What was that ultimate feeling like?
It was awesome. It was just really cool to um, get to the end of that process. And I don't know, I had kind of a unique experience with it. I was on a trip out of town and we had a mobile notary come by and I was on the beach and signed the paper, and it was such a crazy, like this cathartic release of satisfaction that I'd gone through that whole thing and I signed the papers, and it was really cool. Obviously, that with that, kind of right after that came this sense of like, oh, now I got to get this place occupied. But you helped with that, and so yeah, just a great experience overall.
I really like the mobile notary story because I remember you reached out to me like, I'm not going to be home for closing. Like, how do we go about that? So yeah, the mobile notary on vacation. I mean, that is definitely an iconic moment for your first investment property. First of all, for anybody to do it, but for your first one to be experienced like that is kind of cool. You were with your family, right? Like, how did they react to it? Were they excited to watch you sign?
Yeah, they were excited. And because I'm young and I don't really have like a huge like financial history, I got my dad to help me as a co-signer, and so he was there with me, and yeah, it was a great experience for the family overall too.
Good. Yeah, that's amazing to see, like family joining together like that. It always makes me excited. And them watching you achieve your goals is always a fun thing. For me, like my goal is always to put all of my clients in the best possible position to achieve financial freedom. And it makes me upset, like watching things online sometimes when I see people not giving the best advice, or like kind of steering people down the wrong path, whatever that path may be, just if I don't believe in what's going on, or people are being treated as a number or another sale or something. Was there anything that surprised you about working with me, just in terms of maybe care or what I've done, or anything at all that you were like, yeah, I'm a little bit surprised about Ryan did this?
Yeah, definitely. Well, for one thing, I definitely, like, I never felt like I was being sold or upsold, or like, I didn't feel like a statistic. It felt very personable and very genuine. Like, you definitely cared about my success, it meant a lot. Because I know other mentors, gurus out there, they're out there to, just rake in as much cash as they can. But that was definitely something that I was not getting those vibes from working with you. So that was great. And yeah, I think overall, just it was a pleasant experience to not work with someone who is just there to kind of babysit. Like they got my money, so now they can just kind of do management of their clients. But it was very like, okay, you got paid, and so you're gonna give a service. That was kind of
I'm glad you felt that. Was there ever a moment where you doubted that it could work or that it would work?
To be honest, for me, I couldn't really afford to doubt. Or I was like all in from the beginning, and so I had to put forth a lot of faith in myself and in you, and and the more I worked with you, the more that sort of got reinforced that things are going to work out. So yeah.
I'm glad we didn't let doubt creep in. I mean, that's obviously always my goal, is to stay ahead of that. So I'm happy to see that happen. And now that you've been through it and you feel confident and that you've gone through it once, you have it rented out, you're collecting money, like doing some even renovations to improve other portions. Where do you see yourself in a year?
In a year from now, well, that property will be fully rented out, and I'll be making a decent amount of positive cash flow. And yeah, hopefully further down the line, I can grab another one under my belt. And it's been fun being a landlord. Interesting, but overall a very positive experience, and I've learned a lot.
If somebody's watching this video and they're on the fence about working with me, if you had to say something to them, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that if they genuinely believe in themselves and that you think that you have what it takes, but you're just kind of unsure of how to start and what's next, then I think working with Ryan will give you that extra confidence to push you to making real action or taking real action, because sometimes we get bogged up in the process and we don't know, and we get scared, and we end up just doing nothing. But working with Ryan will definitely give you that push. And Ryan definitely takes his work seriously, and he cares about the success of his clients. I felt that. And so you can be confident that he'll give you the highest quality of guidance and support. And like I said before, the systems that Ryan put together are really great. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Joe. Very much appreciate your time, and always nice to talk to you. So thank you for hopping on and being willing to share your story.
Yeah, sure. Of course. I'm glad to have been on this process and this journey. And yeah, I genuinely think anybody who goes on it will have a good experience too. So
awesome. Well, thank you so much.